All right, hello and welcome everyone. What is up? Hello, hello. What is going on? Phil here on the stream, and guess what, everybody? Guess what time it is? It's finally time for new games. That's right, today is Tuesday, January 19th, 2016. And this is the very first new game release of the year. Not to say that there were no new games released this year. I'm sure between the indie games and everything that's going on these day and age, there had to have been some releases between, the first and today. But this is the very first higher profile release of the year. And I've been busy, keeping busy with my year-end series, with going on and continuing with games like Yakuza 5. And I just finished up yesterday a playthrough of Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. If you have not seen it, that is now complete. So I hope you'll check that out. But this is the very first new game release of the year that I am playing. And it is Resident Evil 0 Remake. Although it's funny because I haven't found anywhere that's calling it that. Everywhere's just calling it Resident Evil 0. But I don't understand how you can do that when it's supposed to be the remake. Just like last year, we had Resident Evil Remake. And that was a remake of Resident Evil 1 with better HD graphics. It had all the gameplay improvements that had come from the GameCube upgraded version of the game in the early 2000s. So this is supposed to be basically the same kind of premise for Resident Evil 0. They've upgraded the graphics, they've upgraded the controls, they've made it a more modernized game so that it's not full-on tank controls. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do when it comes to controls and stuff. I mean, I'm used to tank controls from the classic Resident Evils, but I've never played this one. This is actually the one classic Resident Evil game at this point that I've never played. I've now done Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3, Resident Evil Code Veronica, Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6. And yeah, I even did that shitty Raccoon City, Operation Raccoon City Diarrhea, whatever it was called. I played that one. Now, I also never played the, what was it? What was the name of the one that was online? Outbreak? Resident Evil Outbreak? That was the one where it was like, almost like an MMO, but not really. It was like a limited amount of people would go into a lobby and be basically trying to survive in the city of Resident Evil 2. But there was no voice chat. So it was like trying to communicate with people to figure shit out was like impossible. But this is, out of all the classic Resident Evil numbered titles, this is the only one I have not played. I have never even played this game at all. So it's not even like, oh, I never, I played it and I never beat it. No, I never played this at all. So I don't really know. The only thing I know about this game is that there's a train. And the only reason I know that is because I played, what was it, Resident Evil Chronicles, that light gun game on the Wii 100 years ago. And it had a few stages from this game in it. But I don't really remember too much from it. So, really, this is going to be a very cold run for me. A game that I've never played before. I don't know what to do in it. And as you know with Resident Evil games, if you don't know what to do, sometimes it can lead to mass confusion, running in circles. So, you're probably going to see some of this during the playthrough. Undoubtedly. Okay. We'll find out, right? But I'm excited, being that it is the kind of, it's like full circle. Right? It's like, let's complete all of the classic Resident Evils. And I wonder what they're going to do with the Resident Evil series now, because we haven't heard any new news out of Capcom regarding development of a new Resident Evil, right? We don't know. Is it Resident Evil 7? Is it coming out? When is it coming out? We don't know. We don't know what Capcom's up to. They're kind of keeping everything under wraps. A lot of people have said that maybe they should just totally start from scratch. And others have said they should go back to the classic survival horror formula of these original games. Many people feel that ever since Resident Evil 4, that the Resident Evil games have gotten progressively worse and become more like run-and-gun action shooters than survival horror games. And that the feeling of isolation, the feeling of that every bullet will be your last and you're going to run out of ammo, and that kind of feeling of suspense. A lot of people feel that that's been completely lost with the more modernized Resident Evil games. And in fact, if you look at sales, yeah, If you look at sales numbers of the Resident Evil series, they have plummeted. You know, Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, and 4 were huge sales hits. Resident Evil 5 did good, but wasn't up to the standards of what Capcom was expecting. Resident Evil 6, Capcom spent more money on than any Resident Evil game before and did not sell anywhere near any of the previous games, and got bad reviews, which I disagreed with. I thought that Resident Evil 6 was quite good, but it just wasn't classic survival horror at all. It was more an action-style game. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens with the future of Resident Evil. I have no clue. I don't know what Capcom's going to do at this point. Capcom's in dire straits. They don't have a lot of money. They lost a ton of money in the past 5 years, in fact. It's funny. They basically made tons of money on Street Fighter 4, insane amounts of money. And then they pissed it away with Resident Evil 6, with the Devil May Cry reboot, which did not do well sales-wise, not as up to their expectations. They also pissed away money on Street Fighter Cross Tekken, which was reviewed as one of the worst fighting games Capcom's ever put out, and I agree. You know, lots of issues. Lots of things that pretty much destroyed Capcom, and they're trying to rebuild. That's why in the past few years, if you've noticed, most of the games that Capcom are pumping out are more remakes, reboots, rehashes, rather than original franchises. You know what I mean? So you've had Resident Evil Remake last year, Resident Evil 0 Remake this year. They just had a Mega Man Collection, I believe, that's coming out shortly. And what was the other one that I'm trying to think of? There was another one that they pumped out recently that was basically like a very low-budget deal. Okay? So Capcom is just trying to basically make as much money up as they can, so that they can start to make AAA games again. And if you take a look, Street Fighter V is really the very first game Capcom is putting out in quite some time that is a new installment of something rather than just some kind of a quick port or a remake. So it'll be very interesting next month when Street Fighter V comes out to see how it's received, to see if it becomes a huge bestseller like Street Fighter 4 was. To see if once it's finally released in a competitive setting, what competitive players have to say about it. Because quite honestly, that could make or break a game. If the game comes out and competitive players say they don't like it, that it's not as good as Street Fighter 4, that could be a problem. Because a lot of the casual people who maybe never get to the competitive level still follow along with the tournament scene, with streams, with the noted players, and they like to get into that vibe. And if the noted players are all kind of harping on the game and saying, we don't like it, that could hurt the game big time. So, but we'll see next month, alright? But I digress. I'm excited. Resident Evil 0 here. We're going to be playing today on a 3.5 hour gameplay stream for you. And then tonight, what I'm going to actually do tonight, to coincide with the launch of my new channel, KO Gaming, and I'm going to be doing this a lot more often when new releases come out, I'm going to be doing a first impressions video tonight. I'm going to take, highlights from my 3.5 hours of gameplay and slap them together into a first impressions video where in like 5 or 10 minutes, I'll give you my feelings on what I feel about this game tonight over on my YouTube channel, KO Gaming. Alright? And I get the feeling that as newer games come out, this is something I'm going to be doing far more often. A lot of people want to know, what are my day one impressions of games that I've played, especially if it's a game that I'm going to be doing a full playthrough of. So it makes sense to do it, and that'll be something fun. Okay? Now, in addition, I'll be playing this on stream tomorrow as well. So, if you're liking today's stream, you're watching, you're like, man, this is cool. I wonder when Phil's going to play it again. Tomorrow, same time, same place. So we're going to play it 2 days back to back. See what happens, alright? I don't know how long the game is. Typically, these Resident Evil games aren't very long if you know what you're doing, but that's the thing. Like I said, I haven't played this one before, so I could end up getting lost or taking a long time. I don't know. We'll have to see. But, yeah, I'm playing it 2 days in a row, and then later this week, I'll probably be finishing it up, okay? So, FYI. So, what else is going on? Not too much. I've been waiting, eagerly awaiting a new release, so I'm happy that there is a new release today. Things, quite honestly, this year have been quite slow, with me doing my Game of the Year awards and trying to just basically do some downtime stuff before the new game started releasing. It's hard to retain attention for stuff that's not new. People like to see the hot new stuff, right? And I understand that. But I've been, working on KO Gaming, which has now been live for about 4 days. I launched on Friday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, so it's been live for around 4 days. I'm pretty pleased. As of last night when I checked, we got about 3,500 subscribers and growing on that channel. And got a custom URL. You can find it at youtube.com/KOGaming1, which is an awesome custom URL. Very easy to find it. And so far, the first video that I put up there, the Fallout 4 review, has gotten a significantly great number of views. I think it's like 12,000 or more, which I was not expecting. I thought that it was going to be tough to get people to get over there. Apparently, people are liking it. So that's good. That's a good thing. And I've been working on channel trailers the past few days. If you have not checked out any of my YouTube channels in the past few days, I've now done a channel trailer for both, or for all of them. KO Gaming, DSPGaming, and the King of Hate Vlogs all have channel trailers / promo videos that are up as the main featured videos, and I'm going to leave those up for a while. That way people who don't know about me, don't know about what to expect or anything, it clearly outlines that this year it's a plan where DSPGaming, where many of you are watching this stream right now, is going to be the place for the raw gameplay daily. Every day I'll be doing a gameplay stream, recording it, and uploading those videos for on-demand viewing to DSPGaming. Then I'm going to be doing edited stuff over on KO Gaming, such as the first impressions video that I'm doing tonight of this game. In addition, game reviews. In addition to that, montages, countdowns, the best of the week, stuff like that will be over on KO Gaming. And then my vlogging channel, the King of Hate Vlogs, will be for the personalized vlogging, such as if I have a reactionary video to something that happened in the news or in the world, you know, my DSP Tries It series, my Ask the King series, the weekend preview, all that stuff will continue over there. So pretty sweet. I'm pretty happy with how things are going, and if the momentum keeps up the way it's going right now, and, you know, we keep getting this growth on everything, then it's going to be a good year. You know, I'm feeling good about it, okay? One thing I want to just make everyone aware of, because many people probably don't even do this. Many of you probably never even look at my video descriptions. And what I mean by that is when I upload a video to YouTube, you probably never check the description of the video. What I'm going to start doing is in my videos, in the description of the videos, I'm going to start giving you links to Amazon.com for whatever I'm doing in that video. So for example, today I'm playing Resident Evil 0, okay? In the description of the videos of my playthrough, I'm going to put a link, an Amazon Associates link, so that if you're watching this playthrough, you're like, wow, I like this game, I want to play it myself. You can use that link to buy the game. And if you use that link to buy the game, I actually get a cut. I get like a very tiny percent, like insanely minuscule percent of profit off of, you know, the sale of the game. And I get the feeling that if I start doing this as a commonplace thing and people realize that I'm doing this, this could be a significant source of income for me. Because from what I'm to understand, a lot of YouTubers have been doing this for years and getting tons of profit off of it. And this is something that I never even thought of and I've been missing out on. So from now on, when you're watching my videos, if you're like, wow, this is a good game, I think I might get it, check the video description. There might be a link there to grab the game for yourself, and if you do that and you buy it through there, you help me out, okay? So just tossing it out there. And I'll have more information, you know, on stuff like that in the future, but I'm just tossing that out there because it's the very first time that I'm even doing anything like that, okay? I don't have a link for you right now because this is the live stream. When I actually upload these videos on demand later to DSPGaming, that's when I'll have the associate Amazon links, you know, in the description of the video, alright? Alright. So just tossing that out there for you. What else? I'm thinking of doing a review of Rise of the Tomb Raider. Okay? I'm thinking about doing that this week. If I have time, I'm going to do this first impressions video tonight of this game. And then I'm going to see if I feel like doing a vlog tomorrow, or maybe I want to start working on my review of Rise of the Tomb Raider. So that'll be my second review up on KO Gaming, hopefully this week. Later this week, I'll have Hits of the Week, where I'm going to take the best moments from all the gameplay this week. And already there's been hilarious stuff in Yakuza 5 and Grand Theft Auto Liberty City stories that I could put into that montage. I'm hoping that, you know, with this stuff, you know, with Resident Evil 0, we'll have some better stuff, you know. Oof. We'll see. But it should be a good montage coming out for you around this weekend. And the next week, oh my goodness, excuse me. I'm drinking a seltzer water, and it doesn't exactly work too well when you're trying to do a pre-stream. But anyway, next week, I know a lot of people were upset because I got sick last week. I am still getting over that, by the way, so I apologize if I do sound a little congested, because I am still congested. Which is why you're hearing all kinds of nasty shit. But yeah, because I was sick last week, I was not able to start my playthrough of Undertale, which is what I wanted to do. I wanted to do Undertale, and I could not do it. I'm going to be starting that next week, okay? So I just want to make that clear. Next week, Undertale will begin. So for those who've been waiting for that playthrough ardently, now you know what to expect. The next week I'll be starting that game, and that'll be carrying me into early February, until the first releases of February, which actually are going to be starting, when does it start? It starts in February 9th. February 9th, there is a ridiculous amount of new releases. Seriously. Like, no joke, February 9th, there's like 4 games. And I know I can't even play them all, so I'm going to have to like decide between those games what I want to play. Because I know I can't play them all. You know? So we'll see. February 9th. I think I'm definitely playing Naruto. What is it? Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Shippuden Super Hyper Mega Ultra fucking Fruity Blast Edition 4 or whatever the fuck it's called. Fruit Stripe Edition. It's the final Naruto game. I'm going to be doing that for sure. And I have to decide what other game maybe I want to play that week. And maybe juggle between those two. We'll have to see. Okay? Alright. What else? Well, ladies and gents, not much else going on. I've kind of covered almost everything. But I'll do some gratuitous plugs quickly. First of all, my girlfriend Leanna's business, The Black Current, where you can get handmade glycerin soaps and wax tart melts. I mention this all the time, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about it, but you can find it at etsy.com/shop/The Black Current, spelled Currant. She had over actually, I can actually tell you now, she had 137 orders last year. Damn. That's pretty damn good for a startup business. 137 orders in 2015. I know because we were doing some tax stuff for her last night for her business. And, wow, I was impressed. That's a lot of business. And, nothing but positive feedback. Everyone who's bought the stuff and reviewed it said it was great. So if you want some really high quality soaps, much better for your skin and much better smelling than what you're going to buy in any store, or if you want to get some wax tart melts, which are a great alternative to burning a candle and making your house smell good, check it out. Etsy.com/shop/The Black Current. Okay? And then, for my gratuitous plug, obviously it's going to be Patreon. Patreon.com/DarksidePhil. Just in about a week's time, what's today's date? The 19th. So about a week and a half's time, we're going to be doing Rockathon 2.0. Rockathon 2.0 will finally happen, ladies and gents. And I'm excited for that. Another return to Rock Band. That's always a good time, right? Last time I did it at the end of November, people absolutely loved it. Something so different from what I would normally do. So we're going to be doing another marathon stream of that. Right now, the patrons from the month of December are nominating the songs they would like to hear me sing and perform on that stream. But for this month, for the month of January, if you pledge $5 or more, and we hit the goal of funding for this month, it's the Patron's Choice Playthrough Returns. What that means is that you're going to be able to nominate and vote on a game for me to play as an ongoing playthrough. It'll be 4 guaranteed sessions of gameplay. And then if I decide that it's a game that I really like, maybe I'll continue to play it. That's what happened last year with games such as Persona 4, okay? But anyway, yeah, that's the goal for this month. And I haven't done that since the middle of last year, and people have been aching for that to come back because they really like to be able to nominate and vote. And it's funny because there's been games people have been asking me on stream, like people are saying, Phil, are you going to play Mafia 1 or 2 before Mafia 3 comes out? Phil, are you going to play this game before this game comes out? Phil, will you ever... One of them was, will you play Ratchet and Clank 3 before the Ratchet and Clank reboot comes out? And my answer to all of those is, well, I really don't have, you know, set time, especially now with all the new releases coming out. I don't have set time to sit down and do a retro game, but if it were to be a Patron's Choice nomination, absolutely I would fit it in. So there you go. So, please check it out, ladies and gents. Patreon.com/DarksidePhil. For as little as $1, you can get some really cool personal perks, including text and verbal thank yous in my videos, getting your questions answered on my Ask the King show, which also will be next week, by the way, or getting a private Q&A video made. A lot of people don't realize how cool of a perk that is, where you basically get a 20-minute video or longer, where I take your questions and I answer them. You might have burning questions for me that you've always... Yeah, I always wondered this about Phil. I always had this question or two that I really wanted to get answered, and no one seems to ever answer these questions on Ask the King or whatever. I wonder, you know, if I could get that answered. That's the perk. Q&A perk. Everyone who I've done a Q&A video for loved it. I got nothing but positive feedback. So anyway, Patreon.com/DarksidePhil. We've got just under 2 weeks left in the month. Please pledge. Understand that it helps me. It's my big chunk of my income this year, especially with everything going on, the hardship with me getting my contract renegotiated with Machinima. Every little bit helps and allows me to keep doing this full-time every single day, rather than going out to get a 9-to-5 job and then basically not being able to do anything for you too. There you have it. If you've liked everything I've put out there since 2008 and you want to go the extra mile, Patreon is the way that you can do that. Okay? All right. That is pretty much it, everybody. I think it is now time to begin with Resident Evil 0. What do you think? What do you think? Should I start Resident Evil 0? No? Aww. Alright, forget it. I'm turning the stream off. I quit. Gonna go, start sweeping the streets or something. My new occupation. Actually, it's gonna be like I said at the end of Batman Arkham Knight last year. I'm gonna become a superhero. I'm gonna dress up and I'm gonna run through the streets of Seattle. I'm gonna be the all-green superhero. That's right. Eco-friendly superhero. Eco-man. Alright, let's get started, everybody. Thank you for watching this pre-stream. And now it is time to begin. Here we go.